Hey everyone, my name is Andrew from Visions TV Online. I am here to do a fantastic interview with a international artist who's worked with many special stars across the world, collaborated with them, done great music, and she's also coming to the UK and having her own headline show, which is happening this Sunday. And she has a UK artist that we very much know in the UK called Loreen Cato, who's going to be supporting her. Her name is called Victory Boyd. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Andrew. Thank you for having me.
I'm good, 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 good. So, how are you feeling? Are you excited to be coming to the UK? How are you feeling?
I'm just excited. It's been a dream to come to the United Kingdom and perform and share my music, and I'm so honored that the opportunity has presented itself. I'm nominated for an award at the Premier Gospel Awards, which
Yeah,
is happening tomorrow, Saturday, the 21st. And,
yeah.
and then also to play my own concert here. It's just a dream. So I'm thankful to God.
So, how are you feeling about that being nominated?
You know what? It's an honor. I have won awards before, but this is special. It's different from the Grammys. We shouldn't look like it's lesser than the Grammys. It's different than the Grammys because it's a platform designed to highlight kingdom work. And
Mm,
and we need more platforms like this. There aren't very many, and um, there it's a platform designed to encourage and further enrich and empower the artists that are dedicating their craft to serving God. And so,
sure.
so this is a special platform, and I'm honored to be a part. I'm honored to be performing, and we need to continue to build up our own platforms that represent the kingdom, so that there's more for the future kingdom artists.
Sure. So, you said future Kingdom artists. Is there anybody that you're listening to right now?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been listening to this artist. Her name is Mandy Mapes. She just makes really sweet music, sweet songs about life and God, and it's like her songs are like therapy sessions.
Sure.
And Another artist, her name is Trula, and she makes like Christian jazz music, and it's brilliant. There's a UK artist actually I've been listening to. Her name is Praise the
Okay.
Yeah, just brilliant. And then a French artist, her name is Claudia Isaki, just
Awesome.
genius artist. So, I've just really been keeping my ear to the ground and finding so many jewels and gems, and these women are prolific. So, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So I've been listening to some of your music, and the one track that I was listening to is called One Thing. And the song, your voice is, you got a rich tone to your voice and a very jazzy voice as well. Close to Macy Gray in some sense as well. So like, what inspired you to get into music and have that rich tone, and how do you prepare yourself in singing? So many questions in one, but literally, how would you say that your voice? How did you prepare your voice and etc.? So
Yeah, well, I used to, as a kid, I started singing when I was 4 years old. I got to join the choir that my parents founded, and I used to like emulate and like as a joke mimic other people's voices, like Bugs Bunny or just different cartoon characters or gospel singers. Or we used to listen to Ella Fitzgerald, the jazz singer. And
okay,
one I was mimicking her voice just as a joke. And my dad heard me, doing my comedy hour one day. And he's like, Victory, that's your real voice. From now on, I want you to sing like that all the time. And I was like, I was so embarrassed because then it was like, he's going to make me sing like this on stage. And I was just joking. I wasn't trying to be serious. Um, so
Yeah.
then he started making me do it for real. And then I started to see that, okay, I guess I do know how to control my voice like a jazz singer. And I could just make it my own instead of making it a joke. I could find
Yeah.
my own voice in this. And so, I really was inspired a lot by these classic, iconic African American female vocalists. So you have
Sure.
like Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, Etta James, just these older classic. They're not doing a lot of riffs. They might do some scatting, but it's really about their tone that makes it so powerful. And so I gleaned a lot of technique from those voices. And yeah.
Incredible, incredible. And you began your career performing with your family in New York in Central Park. And how did these early experiences shape your musical journey?
Very much so. I liked to think, because my family, we would go to Central Park almost every day and sing as buskers, and we would gather a crowd, and people would gather around, hundreds of people gathering around to listen to our music. And so I felt like these people, I felt like, because we're in the park and we're amongst all this nature and all these trees, and you see all the seasons pass, and you see the trees grow, and then the leaves grow, and then it's fall season, and then it's spring again. I felt like I was one of the trees that was simply just growing in the park. And I felt like the people that would stand there and leave tips, I felt like they were watering us. Like me and my brothers and sisters, we are just like these trees that were growing here, and we're rooted here, and the people, they just keep nurturing us with water, and
Yeah,
with their tips. And it's like, and over years we just grew into these rich, powerful trees that bear a lot of fruit, that write beautiful music, that play instruments beautifully and sing beautifully. And so that's kind of like how I thought, because we sang there for about 10 years. So just think 10 seasons of growing in the park. And
wow.
yeah, so it really definitely shaped who I am as an artist. Now we're not there anymore. My family, we're not singing in the park anymore. Now we're singing all over the world. And
Mm.
but we got our foundation from New Yorkers and people all over the world that would encourage us to keep growing in our craft.
Oh, that's awesome. And how did the pandemic help deepen your relationship with the Lord and Savior?
Well, not just the pandemic, but anytime there are hardships, it it forces me, to seek God and learn about new facets of his character, new facets of his glory. And when I do this, it makes my faith more rich. And sometimes when you're in hardships, it's like, if you refuse to seek God, then you're not going to be well. Sometimes
Mm.
you have to seek him just to be well.
Yeah.
If you don't, it's just too much sorrow, it's too much tragedy, it's just too much for just me to handle by myself. And so I have to go away and seek his presence and seek his face and hide for a minute, and he makes me strong. And so during the pandemic, that's what I did. I hid in the words of God, in worship, and he made me stronger, and he gave me a lot of songs. And that's really where I created this album Glory Hour from. It's from hiding in the secret place with the Lord and in the middle of the pandemic, and he gave me a song, and now these songs are going all over the world to empower people. And so yeah,
That's awesome. And Glory Hour peaked #2 on the iTunes Christians charts, right? And
yes.
so that's awesome. So, like, when that happened, how did you feel?
Well, I feel like it's just the beginning, because for me, it wasn't about the impact that this album has immediately. I was thinking of the long haul when I created this album. I create music with decades down the line. I'm thinking 100 years from now, will people still be singing this song? Like, just think of like the song Amazing Grace,
Yeah,
like who knows when it was written long ago. Who knows if it reached the charts or not? It probably didn't, but look at it, how many decades, probably a century later, it's reverberating around the world. And so for me, I just wanted to create music that has the potential to resound far beyond the here and now, far beyond any
mm,
award show, any Grammys, any charts, and it's just music that has inherent power, that, it might reach the charts, it might not, but it will resound throughout generations. That's my goal, you
yeah,
know. So, and so we'll see. I might not even be around to see the full impact of the songs that it was intended to make, but
sure.
yeah.
Well, you say that, but you was able to collaborate with artists such as like Kanye West. Now that's a huge achievement, to be able to work with somebody like that, and and to even songwriting, being positioning with songwriting for him. So, how did that come about? And and you know what? Sometimes it's about planting a seed, planting a seed, right? And able to use somebody like Kanye West to plant many seeds to many other people, which then you was able to impact in that way. How did that first? How did that collaboration come about? And how do you feel since being able to plant that seed, not just through to him, but to others at the same time?
Yeah, well, first, that's not a connection that you can just make happen.
Nah,
It's something that it just had to be meant to be by God. And so God orchestrated it. Just that's the short story. um
yeah,
it we met at Sunday service. I just was moved. I had heard about the Sunday service thing, but I didn't think it was real. I didn't think it was
sure,
really genuine Christian faith. I thought it was like a publicity stunt or something, or just some creative art thing that's mixing religion and just a bunch of ideas. But then when I got there and I saw it for myself, it was just all about Jesus. And it was all about the power of his name and the power of the blood. And they didn't even have a preacher there, but they just read the scriptures. They just read straight from the Bible. And then they sang songs about Jesus. And that was it.
mm,
And you
mm,
had all these celebrities around. You had Kim Kardashian. You had all, like,
yeah,
every kind of celebrity around. It's like, well, we shouldn't discriminate against this worship just because these are celebrities that are doing it. This is genuine. Like, who's to say that this is not legitimate worship? Like, they are worshiping Jesus. That's what the
sure,
words are saying, and they're reading from the Bible. Aren't we all sinners that are simply redeemed by grace and worshiping God and reading from the Bible? Like, so it was just powerful and beautiful for me to witness it and experience for myself. And suddenly I was like, I've got to be a part of this. I got to figure out,
sure.
so for me, that was my dream. Like, I have one goal when I entered into the commercial music industry. And my goal was to amplify the message of the gospel from the top of the secular music industry. And so when I got signed by Jay-Z, it was like, oh, well, that's the top of the secular music industry. So
Yeah.
now it's time for me to develop my message and share the gospel from here. Well, then I see Kanye, and he's doing the same thing. He's amplifying the gospel from the top of the secular music industry. And I said to myself, oh, well, I'm here for a reason. I'm supposed to be a part of this. So I just mustered up the courage after Sunday service to go introduce myself to Kanye West and tell him who I am and that he needs to listen to my music.
Yeah.
And I did
That must have been a bold step, nerve-wracking at the same time.
And he was kind, but he was busy also. And
Of course.
he didn't really have time. But then I saw him again 2 weeks later at a concert that I was performing. It was a private concert, and he didn't know I was going to be there. And he was in my audience, and he heard me sing from my album, The Broken Instrument. And he was really moved by my writing and the presence of God. And so after the show, he's like, wow, we got to work together. And so we exchanged cell phone numbers, and we were in the studio a couple weeks later. And
incredible.
There's no way you could orchestrate that. Only God.
And yeah, I'm sure many artists has tried the same approach as well and not been able to be successful in that way. But is when you have God in the midst of if you have God in the midst of what you're doing, and He's orchestrating and had divine favor over it, He's going to open up those doors and opportunities for you.
Yep.
Just like how he's also made it possible for you to even have 539 million streams globally with your music, which is a huge accomplishment. And that's mind blowing, because not a lot of artists has been able to even hit those type of numbers, well, in the UK. So that's just crazy. So what has been the driver for your music to be able to do what you're doing? Obviously God, but what other things has been the driver?
Yeah. Well, it's really all about sharing my life as an art form. So what I mean by that is sometimes people they're just all about sharing God, but sometimes people can't see God unless they see God in you. They see your life and they see that you are human, and then they see the miracle is that God is living inside of a human, because that's just a human. That's not like that person failed, that person messed up, that's a human that deals with insecurities and goes through breakups and goes through all sorts of issues. And so when you are honest about your life, and then you make music out of it, and then you're also honest about how God meets you in the midst of your humanity. That's really what my music is about. It's not, oh, my music is about just living a victorious life and always triumphing. I mean, sure, that's a part of it, but it's about the battles that we face that you're challenged to triumph over. The addictions or the temptations and all of the various things. My goal is to help people realize, no, you're not unique to this struggle called life. And what I do is I try to articulate the things that are difficult to talk about. I try to find the words and the melodies and the rhythms and compose it all together and then represent all of the people that went through these same things, represent all of our experiences and say, I too have felt these things. And here's the song to prove that we have made it through these circumstances. And so when you listen to a song of victory, you're listening to the journey to make it through. And it really just helps people to see that, you know, they're not alone. And this art, hopefully it can represent your life experience too, the more I'm honest about my life experience. And yeah, that's what really pushes me to create and be excellent in my creativity.
Awesome, awesome. So we have your live concert coming up on Sunday. Now, how are you feeling about it? Are you nervous about the UK crowd?
No, I've dreamed of the UK crowd for a very long time. You know,
Wow.
when we used to do busking, you know, you have to understand the people's psychology. Americans oftentimes have short attention spans.
Yeah.
So we would have to like hurry up and play something popular, or hurry up and play something interesting and like driving. And but then I started to see like when you have like European or foreign, I don't want to just say European, but just foreign audiences, the attention span and the culture is different. Like you can take your time and tell a story. You don't, it doesn't have to be in 15 seconds or they're gone or you lose their attention, you know. And so a lot of my natural instincts is to take my time and tell a story, you know, and not have to be loud. Like I don't have a loud voice, or like not have to be, you know, just so driving. I mean, I know how to do it the American way. It's like when my album was first released, my first album, they put it on urban radio.
Wow. Ooh.
And so I had all these guitar songs, like, and they don't fit
Ooh.
in the perform well. She went to the UK, you know. Sorry, am I cutting off?
I think you might be cutting off.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Sorry,
Can
it's
you hear me
okay.
now?
I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I was just saying that, you know, I would think to myself, where did Tracy Chapman go to be received the best? You know, Tracy Chapman went to the UK. Like that's where she cut through. She wasn't trying to compete in the same space as TLC and Destiny's Child. And
Yeah.
it's just not the same style. She needs time to set up her story and to set up her with her acoustic guitar, and you know, and so it's just, and it's not so easy to do that in America as a Black woman, because there's like an expectancy that you're supposed to, you know, have this urban look and this urban feel, and you're supposed to talk a certain way, and you're supposed to, you know, but that's just not realistic of the entirety of the Black experience. We express ourselves in many different ways. And so I just felt that, you know, the UK is especially receptive to my kind of expression as an artist. And so I've looked forward to performing here for many years.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to see you on the 22nd. and it's been in conjunction with Premier Gospel, and like really got additional support from a number of people, even Nathaniel P, Rock Nation, Soul Mama, and many other people who's been collaborating. You got Q&A with an interview with Lorene Cater, which is awesome. I believe that you both have something in common, which is that you both have worked with Adele historically as well, so which is incredible. So I'm looking forward to it. Tell me what is going to be your top favorite song that you're going to be performing on the day, and don't tell me all of them.
Well, I'm looking forward to performing Righteous.
Okay, why Righteous?
I'm looking forward to performing that for myself.
Okay.
It just is a great reminder. Sometimes when the song that you are singing for yourself is the song that you can effectively communicate the best.
Sure.
Like if you need a message, then to in front of everyone minister to yourself, like that sometimes is like the most powerful expression. So yeah, that's what I feel right now, so I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. And where can people get their tickets for the event for Sunday?
Yeah, you could go to victoryboyd.com and get tickets there. That's Victory, VICTORY, Boyd, BOYD.com. And yeah, the tickets are right there.
Awesome. And what time does the event start?
Doors open at 7 p.m. and the show starts at 8.
Well, guys, you need to make sure you get your tickets. It's going to be a phenomenal night. It's a night that you don't want to miss. I'm looking forward to it, and so should you. So, Victory, it's an honor to have you on Visions TV Online. We will definitely be catching up with you soon, and I'll definitely be seeing you on the day. God bless you.
Yes. Thank you. And lastly, I just want to say a quick thank you to my team, producer Eleanor Earl from EL Entertainment.
Yes.
Put together this whole concert, and I'm just want to say thank you to her and my tour manager Megan. I couldn't do this whole London, UK tour and press thing without the two of them, and so just want to say thank you, and I look forward to everyone joining and enjoying this music over this weekend.
Amen. God bless you guys, and shout out to the rest of the team. And we look forward to seeing you all. God bless you.
Yes, likewise, Andrew.